Shabbat Shalom. It's Rabbi Michael Shields here, Associate Rabbi at Temple Sinai, with another episode of the Haftarah Drop. Every week I do a little drash on the Haftarah and give a little insight into perhaps how it connects to the Torah or upcoming holidays or the world we live in. When I think of this week and the Haftarah and the interaction with Torah, there's a couple phrases that come to mind. The idea of a strong spine, but an open heart and clear vision. Shabbat Parah is this interesting pivot point, if you will, spiritually. We're moving from Purim into Passover. We're moving towards redemption, towards memory. And the Torah reading of Parah speaks about purification, this mysterious red heifer, the paradox of somehow becoming pure through ashes. But our Haftarah, Ezekiel, goes even deeper. It asks not just, are you ritually pure? It asks, is your heart aligned? So not just ritually pure, not just going through the motions of the ritual that say, look, kosher, but is your heart aligned with that ritual purity? And Ezekiel, it's important to think, who is Ezekiel talking to? It's important with all of the prophets. And whenever you read the Bible, who is this directed at? Ezekiel is talking to a people in exile. It's a tumultuous time. Jerusalem has fallen. The temple is destroyed. The people are scattered. And what does Ezekiel do? Ezekiel delivers hard truth. When they came to the nations, they profaned my holy name. That's what Ezekiel says. Pause there. It's not about embarrassing the people. It's about an ethical witness. Israel's behavior in the land did not reflect the covenantal values they were called to observe and uphold. And the nations concluded that God, therefore, must be weak or absent. Well, the reality is how we live shapes how God is perceived by others. Our actions matter. That's a lot of responsibility. This next line is one of my favorite in all of Haftarah. It's also one of the most striking lines coming out of the mouths of any of our prophets. It is not for your sake, O house of Israel, that I act, but for my holy name. It's not for your sake, O house of Israel, that I act, but for my holy name. God is saying redemption is not transactional. It is covenantal. It's all about relationship. You're being restored not because you earned it, but because the covenant endures even through our missteps. Covenant outlasts failure, if you will. And then comes the promise we wait for every year. I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be pure. This is the prophetic echo in Ezekiel of the red heifer ritual, but Ezekiel transforms it. The purification is not external. He goes on, I will give you a new heart, a new spirit will I put within you. I will remove the heart of stone, Ezekiel is saying, and give you a heart of flesh. Heart of stone, heart of flesh. That is the line. When does redemption begin? Redemption begins with a softened heart. That's where redemption begins, a softened heart. Now, hold this up next to Kitisa, the golden calf. We have spiritual collapse. We have a people losing direction. And yet, covenant continues. Ezekiel is speaking to that same pattern just centuries later. failure, exile, and still possibility. Judaism does not seek to deny our mistakes. It refuses to let them define our future. Notice something really subtle. God does not say, try harder. God says, I will transform your heart. This is grace within covenant. But, critical point here, the transformation is not passive. I will cause you to walk in my statutes. Divine initiative is an invitation to us. We have to choose to walk. We have to take the seed of redemption that God offers and help it to grow. God plants the seed. We choose to grow. So I always think about, why are we reading this Haftarah at this moment in time? Well, we read this now because we talk about leaving Egypt. Therefore, we must talk about being worthy of freedom. Pesach is not merely political liberation. Pesach, Passover, is a time of spiritual recalibration. Shabbat Parah asks, what in me has calcified? Where have I grown rigid? What needs softening? And especially today, especially in this age of polarization, of hardened rhetoric, of quick outrage, Ezekiel whispers to us, choose a heart of flesh. Choose a softer heart. So let me leave you with this. Ezekiel ends with a vision of abundance. There are cities rebuilt, fields flourishing, peoples multiplied. Redemption is no longer abstract. It is lived, but it begins internally. Before the land blossoms, what has to happen? The heart softens. Before the temple stands, the spirit shifts. A new heart helps shape and make a new future. I hope that this Shabbat Parah cleanse, if you will, it cleanses not just ritual space, but inner space. May we enter Pesach, the road to Passover, not only remembering redemption, but living it out, but embodying it. And may the Holy One remove whatever in us has turned to stone. And may God replace it with courage, with compassion, and with a renewed sense of covenantal clarity. Shabbat Shalom.